Ladies and gentlemen, middle-aged white male wanted. He has multiple warrants for his arrest. Yes, we're talking about the angry white man who is in the viral video accosting a correspondent for NBC News. You all have seen this video. Let's go back to it as a reminder.
They did get some reports of some down power lines, of some trees that have fallen, or at least limbs that have fallen. So they're going to go ahead and do that survey to make sure that they're okay. Craig, I'm going to toss it back because we have a person who needs a little help right now.
Hey. We're going to check in with Shaq Brewster just to make sure all is well. There's a lot of crazy out there, a lot of crazy. And Bill Cairns, thank you as well. Again, we'll make sure Shaq's okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of criminal too out there. There are a whole lot of thugs like this guy out there, middle-aged white men who commit acts of criminality, walking in their privilege to do so. This guy was literally driving through Mississippi, and he decided to get out of his truck, commit a crime on camera, knowing he was being recorded. You have to ask the question, are they now doing these things in order to be recorded? Because literally, there's a section of society who will continue to celebrate individuals like him. Okay, who is he? His name is Benjamin Eugene Dagley. Police have issued an arrest warrant for the angry white man seen in the viral video, aggressively confronting NBC correspondent Shaquille Brewster during coverage of Hurricane Ida in Mississippi on Monday. Now remember, Shaq Brewster is literally putting his life in danger in order to give life-saving information to other people. That's what he's doing. In the statement, the Gulfport police said Mr. Dagley, the criminal here, has left the Mississippi Gulf Coast and is on the run in a white Ford pickup truck. That was visible in the video of the incident. This guy faces 2 counts of simple assault, 1 count of disturbing the peace, and 1 count of violating an emergency curfew. Now get this, and this is why I said yesterday, you can't play with people like this. You don't know what this individual is capable of, and if another person other than Mr. Brewster would have been there, he may have caught them hands. That's called self-defense, okay? Self-defense. Now, this guy is also suspected of violating his parole, which reportedly stems, get this, from charges that he once nearly caused an environmental disaster by drilling holes in tanks containing dangerous chemicals in Ohio. According to police, his parole includes travel restrictions. According to Cleveland.com, this same individual was involved in a financial dispute with an electroplating company when he broke into the facility in 2019 and drilled holes in tanks containing sodium cyanide, hydrochloric acid, yellow chromate, ferrous chloride, and sulfuric acid. Damn. You heard all that, right? Now, literally, we just covered yesterday a woman, or day before yesterday, a woman who was charged with using a weapon of mass destruction because she put her saliva on food. It gets deeper. The incident sent a security guard to the hospital with cyanide poisoning. An employee said the released chemicals were severe enough to cause large-scale catastrophe, and the gentleman knew exactly what he was doing. Whoa. He's on the run. Can somebody identify him? Let the authorities in Gulfport know exactly where he's at. We need to get this criminal off the street. Jake, what are your thoughts here?
All right, we'll start out light and get real serious. So first of all, white Ford pickup truck. I wish he at least did a slow speed chase so we can catch him.
Right.
Some people did it right. Okay, so number two, what happened to just comply with police orders? You remember whenever black folks ask for name, ID of police, or just ask for their rights, people say, well, just comply with the police. Just shut up and comply. This guy's on the run, okay? Doesn't look like he's complying. So I assume all the right wingers out there are gonna be like, go get that son of a bitch. Do whatever you have to do, shoot him in the back if you have to. I mean, that's what they say about black folks, right? So now, if that wasn't serious enough, now let's get to the heart of it, right? So when I was a kid, I grew up in a nice town, suburb, and it seemed to me at least that we didn't have too much discrimination. We had lots of different races, colors, etc., backgrounds, and I'm sure that I didn't see it right. I was a kid, right? But I thought, well, hey, it looks pretty good, right? And then when I grew up and I became a man, I put childish things aside and I realized, oh no, there's massive racism in this country. And you can see the discrimination in different forms, right? But the thing that I still missed until much later was it's not just that they discriminate against people of color, women, etc. And you're seeing that down in Texas and all over the country. It's the proactive white privilege that's amazing. So, and there's a picture perfect case of it. Cyanide poisoning. Now, think for a second, pause. What if it was a Muslim man who decided that he was gonna do a cyanide poison attack? Do you think he'd be out on parole? No, everybody knows it. And again, even if you're a right winger, you know it.
Right.
You know that a Muslim man in America who did a cyanide poison attack is not going to be out at all. He's gonna get 20 to 30, if not life. But there is this, Rashad, I'm amazed by it. There's this, really, they're almost above the law. I remember the Bill Murray's character in Kingpin, he wins $1 million and starts screaming, I'm above the law. But if you're a white and a right winger in America, you don't need $1 million. It turns out you've always been above the law.
Yeah, and it's the narrative, right? The narrative benefits the individual who may not fit the bill, so to speak, right? And what you're talking about is narrative, and narratives have so much power in how we understand the society around us. So naturally, a Muslim person or somebody with an Islamic background, they would never be on parole for such a crime, right? Thank God the people who were victims are able to talk about it. But this individual, he's not rehabbed. He didn't learn a lesson. He didn't make a mistake, acknowledged it, and transformed from his ways. He's literally looking for fights, looking for opportunities to engage people criminally.